on the thunder throw, so shock and groan, disobedient. Zeus on the thunder throw, so shock and groan, disobedience turned their hearts to stone. Rejected the truth, lost in the zone. Now they're paying rent in Hades' bone home. Both crackheads, no shelter in the night. Underworld gates, that eternal fright. Denials echo through torturous flight. Only face facts could have saved their plight. Lightning crack, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Zeus truth, or face the dole. Charon's boats, too full to float. Whales of the foolish on the underworld note. Denied Olympian, decree now they tote. Eternal chains, no antidote. Gods convene, truth unseen. Demigods whisper, lost souls scream. Follow the path or drown in the stream. Zeus' wrath, a cruel dream. Dreams of torment echo loud. Lost in sulfur, desperate, proud. Zeus watches from Olympus cloud. Rejected truth, their fates avowed. Convene, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Or face the dole. Charon's full to float.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
The foolish on the underworld moat. Denied Olympian, decree now they don't. Eternal chains, no antidote. No antidote.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started. You know exactly why we are here. All right, we don't got much time. All right,
Okay, Mr. Cross.
we got an hour to. Well, actually, we got 2 hours to learn, 2 hours to burn. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
And be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options.
Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
I'm up early in the morning, time to
Good morning, Rhea. Nice to see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the. Oh my goodness. W. Rick in the chat. Welcome. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's early in the morning, I just woke up out my sleep, threw some water on my face. Yeah, it's just another day in the Golden State.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome where anything goes, all right? And so with that being said, you know exactly what we got to do. We got to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of you-know-who, all right? And actually, you know what? It's actually gotten a lot worse since yesterday. I don't know if you've all been following what's been happening. It's hard to keep up with, right? But we'll talk about as much of it as we can. But before we get into that, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by the name Zeus. Good morning, Val. Or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because, well, you know what? I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. Right, Kabira? Right? If I get it, you know, that's how honest I am. You might as well pretend like my hands are resting on a stack of Bibles. You know, unlike the commander-in-chief currently, I could actually do that because I'm that honest, all right? The second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because, well, you know what? I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me, right? If I get it wrong, if I don't know, I'll say that. There's no shame in my game, right? And if I have to issue an apology, I will, all right? But that's how humble I am. And it's not a bad quality, all right? And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you've guessed it, I am and will always remain the most handsome. Angie. Thank you, Angie. You're so beautiful. And many of you are familiar with what we do over here on this side of TikTok. Okay, you're on your backup. Smart move. What we do is we hold the people on the right accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes. Because clearly these people are hell bent on sending this country. As far as I'm concerned, they're hell bent on sending this country right off of a cliff. All right, because these people are wicked. These are some of the most evil people I've ever dealt with in my life. And they get mad at me because of the way that I run my show. Right? They say, well, Zeus, why do you do the Lake of Fire? Because I got the Lake of Fire routine queued up, right? I got to do that because we got to hold you folks accountable some way, shape, or form. What else can we do, honestly, to get your attention and help you understand you are seriously on your way to hell? I don't know what else we can do. We've brought facts, we've brought data, we've brought statistics, right? And you will ignore it all because you love Donald Trump's dirty, disgusting diaper. This is what I say. You're in a cult, you know it. And what I don't want to do is when we start asking you questions, any of you Trump supporters out there, when we start asking you questions, honestly, you got to stop it. You got to stop it. Let's stop bringing up President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris and their administration. All right. Donald Trump has been in the White House well over 24 hours. As far as I'm concerned, that's a lot of time for him to get a lot of things done. Because a lot of you say he can just say things and get things done. A lot of you have been making that up for 4 years. Now he's in there. You go, oh, well, Zeus, please, W Rick in the chat. You know what they say? I go to the grocery store yesterday and I said, listen, can these eggs, and I talked to the clerk. I said, ma'am, these egg prices, when will they go down? Donald Trump's been in the White House for well over 24 hours. And they said, well, you know what? I got some bad news for you, Big Zeus. I said, what is that? And they said, oh, the egg prices, they're going to actually go up. And I said, why are they going to go up? And they tried to give me some sort of scientific explanation. Bird flu, Zeus. There's a lot of bird flu, inflation, Zeus. And I said, I don't want to hear any of that. Donald Trump's in the White House and no egg prices need to come down immediately. And until then, as far as I'm concerned, they should get these articles of impeachment out, right? I think he should be impeached for the price of eggs. My utility bill has not been cut in half. It hasn't. The gas prices for the cars, it's going through the roof. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet as it is kept, we are heading towards a 1929 style depression, one like we have never ever seen in this country before. All right. This is going to be the worst depression you've ever experienced in your lifetime because we have, I would say, the most, mark my words, incompetent administration ever assembled. All right. Kids who are playing on the playground, ladies and gentlemen, they could have put together a better administration than what we got right now. It's the blatant corruption, as far as I'm concerned. It's the lies. It's the misinformation. It's the identity politics. They're going after DEI. How many of you think there's an issue with DEI? And you voted for Donald Trump to get rid of it? How many of you still believe in that lie? That's going to go right up there with the big lie he told after he lost to Joe Biden in the 2020 election. How many of you still believe in that DEI is ruining this country? How many of you still believe that? Because when I looked at the facts and the data and statistics, you see they said it's mainly white people that are benefiting from DEI. So I had to really go into a dark place last night. I said, wow, Donald Trump has done some magician-like work to people in this country. He's actually gotten a lot of people who voted for him, especially, the white people who voted for him. They actually said DEI is hurting them, even though they are benefiting from it. So you know what I said I got to do, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Trump supporters, they don't understand that they are voting in their worst interest and they're on their way to hell. So what we'll do is we'll help them understand, all right? Before we send them straight to hell, I'll give you Trump supporters a bit of a heads up. If you don't like the way that I'm running my show, why don't you just leave my live? Don't start doing what you did yesterday, right? They reported Big Zeus. They said, Zeus, that's too much truth. So if you don't like the way that I'm running my show, do us all a huge favor.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. DJ, no, I don't need Trump supporters. If anything, DJ, I need Trump supporters to do me a huge favor. I need you guys to all sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. That's what I need you to do. If anything. Oh, well, you know, the Democrats, you didn't have good candidates and you didn't campaign well. And so what we ended up doing, Zeus, is we just went along with Donald Trump's lies. DJ, let me tell you something. You know what they say about rat poison? It's 1% food and 99.99% it's 1% poison. I'm sorry. It's 1% poison and then 99.99% food. Congratulations, DJ. You played yourself. You know what? I'm going to actually have to push back on that. What happened with the previous election, and, you know, they say the Democrats, the messaging. You know what I call that, DJ? That's being lazy. It's really lazy. We have a situation in this country where lazy people are so privileged that they think not only do we got to do the homework for you to make things that actually make sense. But then we got to turn around and put a little bow tie on the information, right? Oh, well, we got to explain to you what tariffs mean, right? What do tariffs mean? Oh, well, you know, that's revenue. The country used to live off of tariffs. You know, they tried to tell me that yesterday. Well, who pays the tariffs? Do we all know who pays the tariffs? All right. Because this is a question that we got to get straight in the kingdom. Who pays the tariffs? All right. I'm serious. Who pays the tariffs? All right. Who pays them? Let me see. Do we know who pays the tariffs? We do. There you go, Bama. There you go. We do. Consumers. There you go. This is common knowledge. So why do we need to put a bow tie on that, ladies and gentlemen, for you to understand that Donald Trump is the worst thing that could ever happen to this country? This is why I say you guys are in deep trouble. Now, the things that I want to talk about first before I go to the box and start having some real authentic conversation, we got some more updates about the mass deportations, all right? This one comes right out of Chicago, all right? Activist judges are waging war against Trump at every turn. This is what they're saying. For example, a Chicago judge is about to set a Venezuelan illegal felon caught in an ICE raid free. They're going to set him free after they detained him, all right? So this is what I want you Trump supporters to do. Listen to this story, and then I want you to think about how much money the Trump administration wasted in this entire process. Let's go.
One of the Venezuelan migrants swept up in immigration raids around Chicago this weekend is about to walk out of federal jail any minute and return to his girlfriend and her parents in the suburbs. Some of these cases have been sealed, but the I-team was in federal court as Edward Martinez Cermeño stepped before a judge and pleaded his case for release. Walking the halls of Chicago's federal court building, Maria and Ruben are still trying to shake off the trauma of Sunday night. Much like these raids across the country, the Venezuelan couple says immigration agents stormed their Schaumburg home. Speaking only in Spanish, Maria told our Michelle Gallardo,
Nos apuntaron a mi esposo.
She said, they were pointing their guns at me and my husband. They knocked him to the ground. Federal agents carried out Maria's daughter's boyfriend, 24-year-old Edward Martinez Cermeño. Federal prosecutors say Martinez Cermeño crossed the border illegally in western Texas in 2023 and made his way to the Chicago area. That charge is merely a misdemeanor, not a felony.
No nos dieron una explicación.
They just left without an explanation. They didn't show us any documents. We were scared. We were all in crisis.
Right.
Tuesday, his appointed public defender told a judge Martinez Cermeño had served as a police officer in Venezuela. Cook County court records show Chicago police arrested Edward Martinez Cermeño for a felony retail theft in January 2024, and he failed to appear for court, triggering a warrant for his arrest. As Martinez Cermeño stood in federal court Tuesday, White House officials were driving home President Trump's message.
If you are an individual, a foreign national, who illegally enters the United States of America, you are, by definition, a criminal.
Martinez Cermeño's police record reflects a non-violent criminal charge, not a conviction. And with a pending court date and asylum hearing set for April 2026, the judge ordered Martinez Cermeño released immediately.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement has the hardest job in law enforcement.
A 15-year veteran of Homeland Security, Jason Hauser.
So the judge, ladies and gentlemen, ordered him released immediately, in case you're not following this. All right, this is a retail theft situation that escalated into a felony. And you know how you all talk about things escalating into a felony, you know, like Donald Trump's and his 34 felony convictions up in the state of New York. So the judge said, listen, I just don't think you have everything you need to detain this person. And so what we're going to do is we're going to release him back into the streets. All right, so W for the judge. W for the judge. Yeah. And so you just got to think to yourself, how much did this actually cost the United States government? And stuff like this is going to continue to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And so what I want to do before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, is I want to go ahead and give the Trump administration our first round of booze and shame. Let's warm it up. Let's warm up the lake of fire. You're going to get the booze and shame because guess what? You know what? You're spending all this money to try to deport people. And we've heard from various places, the people you deport, they come back into the country. All right, just give them a week because they consider it a 1 week vacation. And then on the other side, the judge just releases them right back into the community. So you're just wasting taxpayers' time. Let's give them a huge round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. The Trump supporters, they've been caught flat-footed. They don't know what the heck they're doing. They really don't. They froze federal funding yesterday, and that was a complete disaster. Did any of you see the press conference yesterday? Did any of you see the press conference? Do you know that lady? Who was the lady? What was her name? You heard her at the end of that one video, Caroline Levitt. Y'all know who she is? Y'all know who Caroline? What do you think about Caroline? This lady right here. She woke me up yesterday. You know why she woke me up? Because out of all the things that she said, I just Caroline. Let's see. What do we got? Let me see if we can get Caroline. Where's Caroline at right here, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, she rocks, DJ. DJ, I don't know what you see in her. Seriously, DJ, I really don't. I don't know what you see in her, DJ, but we'll get to that. All right. So, yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, there she is. Right? Let's take a look at one of the things that she said yesterday that caught Big Zeus's attention. It had something to do with condoms. All right, let's talk about this.
Why impose this pause with so little notice? Why not give organizations more time to plan for the fact that they are about to lose, in some cases, really crucial federal funding?
There was,
at least for a period of time.
There was notice. It was the executive order that the president signed. There's also a freeze on hiring, as you know, a regulatory freeze, and there's also a freeze on foreign aid. And this is, again, incredibly important to ensure that this administration is taking into consideration how hard the American people are working. And their tax dollars actually matter to this administration.
Really?
You know, just during this pause, DOGE and OMB have actually found that there was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump, with the swipe of his pen in that executive order, is no longer wants the United States to be a part of. So that wouldn't be in line with the president's agenda. DOGE and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on.
$50 million for condoms in Gaza. I said, now, why would a woman, and you see the cross right there on her right there. You see, so why would a Christian woman be so wrapped up and fascinated on this situation involving condoms? So that, ladies and gentlemen, it prompted me to just get real suspicious about this lady. First of all, you know what we do over here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I had to say to myself, do we really have a saint amongst us in the White House? Do we really have a saint amongst us in the White House, you know? And so you can, you know, obviously she takes, you know, does she look like a nun to you or something? I mean, this lady right here, I said, wow, lady, wow. You're really putting it on thick for Big Zeus. So, you know, what do we got on this? What do we got on our good friend Caroline? All right. Because, you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important we get the truth out here. to the American people. All right, now what we know now, you can go look this up. This is on Wiki. She's married to a gentleman who's a real estate developer, and 32 years her senior. All right. I mean, look at this lady. Look at this lady right there, lady. I mean, she's from New Hampshire. All right. She loves to get the little. She likes to hang out and do a lot of wild things. So she's married to a guy, I guess, 32 years older than her. I want to talk a little bit more about her life. All right. She what is it? She was born in Atkinson, New Hampshire. She was raised a Catholic. Oh, and her family, they owned an ice cream shop and a used truck dealership. Okay, got it. Attended Central Catholic High School. What else? She attended college on a scholarship for NCAA Division softball. Okay, and she was an outspoken support of Donald Trump's administration. Okay, and she wrote op-eds in her school newspaper defending Donald Trump's travel ban. She founded the school's first broadcasting club. Okay, all right, and she graduated with a bachelor's of art in communication and political science. All right, she interned at Fox News. Oh, okay, I see where we're going with this. Then she, in 2019, joined the White House press office as an assistant press secretary under Kayleigh McEnany. Oh, okay. And then at the end of the first Trump administration, she was hired as the communications director for the Republicans' United States Representative Elise Stefanik in New York. Okay, so she's clearly spent a lot of time, I would say, being quite Christ-like. Do we think she's a real Christian out there, ladies and gentlemen? All right. She ran for the U.S. House of Representatives in New Hampshire's 1st District, all right, with a campaign focused on conservative values. Oh, reduced taxes, strong law enforcement, and pew rights. The Republican primary attracted wide attention because both candidates were both Trump administration staffers. Now she beat the guy that she was running against, all right, because she had a lot of support, but she lost to a Democrat, Matt Mowers. All right. Thank you. Okay. So, and then there's one more thing I want to also call out. In 2022, she faced a Federal Election Commission complaint from End Citizens United alleging that her campaign and treasurer illegally accepted campaign donations over the legal limit and never repaid her donors. In January of 2025, she disclosed in 17 amended campaign filings a whopping $326,370 in unpaid campaign debts that she failed to disclose for several years. Roughly $200,000 of the debt was composed of illicit campaign donations made in excess of campaign finance limits she never paid back in violation of campaign finance laws. And on November 15th, Donald Trump chose her as his White House press secretary. Woo! Oh my goodness. Now, do we think do we all believe that this is a Christian, a God-fearing woman? Or do we think this clearly is a MAGA demon? DJ, are you still there, DJ? DJ, are you still there? Because I gotta know, bro. Where does this go in your world? All right, it's just getting to a point, obviously, where what did you say? You think she's a good? So DJ,
you're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it, DJ?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it, DJ? Which one is it? Which one is it, DJ? Did you hear? Let me give you the two options again, DJ.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it, DJ? Oh, you want me to bring you up? Oh, okay, DJ, fine. I would love to hear you explain this one away. All right. You know what, DJ, why don't you come on up here? Because, ladies and gentlemen, quiet as it is, Kev, DJ is trying his hardest to hold on to Donald Trump, but he knows he doesn't really have much to hold on to at this point. Yeah, DJ, you want to try to explain why this woman who walks around with a cross on her bosom like that and dresses up as a nun, who we clearly don't trust with money, but got up there and lied to the American people about money. How do you justify defending this? This is a little outside of your character.
What was her lie about money, Zeus?
The money that Donald Trump froze, right? She was lying and saying it wouldn't harm Americans, and especially people who get direct aid. Huh?
The money that was frozen has nothing to do with direct aid. She's made that perfectly
What
clear.
about the Medicaid website that crashed and they lied about it to the American? It was overwhelmed. No, it wasn't overwhelmed. It was
It had nothing to do with the freeze, Zeus, and you know it. It had
You don't
nothing
think-
to do with the freeze.
DJ. What happened in your opinion? You think she's telling the truth? Do you think this woman, who I just read to you,
I absolutely believe she's telling.
she's married to a guy 32 years her senior? That's kind of interesting, right?
You're making this about her person. You're not making this about what the facts that she was laying out there. So suddenly you forgot about the $50 million that this freeze stopped us from sending to other places.
Well, that I just brought up the 50
Are you
million
not
and
okay with that?
the
Are you not
50
okay with
million that you guys lied about and said were for condoms. That was proven to be a lie. Did you know that?
No, sir, it was not proven to be a lie.
Actually, it was. Okay, it says that would equate to around 2,000 condoms every year for every male in Gaza. All right. If you're going to lie, they say you at least got to fact check that and check the math. And how about her actually giving the actual data to us, DJ? And so, DJ, now that you know she's lying, now that you know she's been she's been tied to campaign finance violations, she's been.
You're saying, Zeus, and I go. You guys like to claim that I deny everything and just Trump said it, so it's got to be true. This woman said it, so it's got to be true. I mean, you're sitting here trying to diminish her character.
I read it off of Wikipedia. This is stuff you could go verify yourself.
Wikipedia is a well-known source of knowledge. Absolutely.
Actually, it's more reliable than you think. It's actually more reliable than the Trump administration. All right? And I'm just being honest. All right? So, DJ, she lied to you about the condoms. I mean, but you got to ask yourself, isn't that a little on the perverse side for that to be the one thing she's focused on? That's what made me start to investigate her. I said, okay, you don't get on national television. You don't wear the cross unless you're acting. You know what I mean? You don't got to do that when you're a true believer. When you're a true believer, DJ, you don't got to actually go around and dress up like it. You just people see it in your character, stuff like that.
You're a true believer, Zeus.
In certain cases, absolutely. But in this case,
certain cases,
in this case,
you're a true believer or you're not, right?
Yeah.
Based on what you're just
depending on what we're discussing, right? I do believe people should strive to be good, whatever that means, right? I don't think people should go around and just be evil and wicked and malicious. So we got to have standards like that. But there's things inside of that book that I just completely disagree with it. But I get it, right? I get it. It's a very powerful tool, and I know a little bit about what's in there enough to understand that this right here, you don't dress up with a big golden cross. How much do you think that cross costs? On her chest, on her bosom. How much do you think that costs?
What difference does that make, Zeus?
Well, because to me, it prompted my interest a little bit. I said, okay, you don't dress up like this and say stuff, and then you get caught lying, and then now I got to look at this a different way and say, why would you do all of this in the name of the good Lord? Right?
Oh my goodness gracious!
Am I wrong? Am I wrong to think like that?
Her mentioning the good Lord one time.
She dressed up. Look at DJ. Do you see it? Blonde hair. Pink.
What percentage of the U.S. of the American public do you think wears a cross?
DJ, maybe a good percentage. I think a good.
Every single person who wears a cross, please.
DJ, yes, depending on the message. All right. So I'm just trying to get you to at least acknowledge. All right. She's got some skeletons in her closet, right? Campaign finance violations. We just can't trust her with money. And then she gets out there and lied to us about the free.
With money, Zeus.
DJ, so she gets out there and she lies to the American people and says, none of this is going to hurt you. Now, we saw the website shut down, but there's a darker side to this, DJ. When you create a budget, what percentage of the budget actually consists of hiring or having personnel paid from it? What percentage would you say it is?
What percentage is personnel paid? So for you talk, okay.
In general, when you create a budget for your business, what percentage of it would you say includes costs for personnel?
Let's say 25%, 30%.
That's very, very slim. That's very, very slim. I'd like to get up there to around the 80%. So I'll go meet you in the middle. Let's just say 50%. How about that?
Okay, I'm not sure
So you freeze, listen, so you freeze funding for, let's just say, 50% people in the country. Because we're talking massive, massive budgets. How do you look the American people in the eye and say, it doesn't harm you? 50% of it is for personnel. People got to work, bro. And then I want to trickle it down for you. So let's just say, okay, it's not going to affect the programs that we give direct aid to. Okay, but you know what's happening behind
Social Security.
Yeah.
None of those are affected. No individual who's getting benefits is affected. Is that what you're saying, Zeus?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is she lied, because guess what? All these people who get those benefits, there's somebody in an office somewhere that you don't know about processing those things, correct?
Okay. I'm going to let you land this because I'm not sure where you're going.
It's not just Donald Trump sitting behind the Resolute desk approving payments for people and processing their paperwork. He's not doing that. There's somebody back behind the scenes doing this kind of work, administrative work. So when you get on national television and you say, oh, it doesn't hurt anybody, you're forgetting that there's somebody got to do this work. They might get laid off. They might get furloughed. All right. And then guess what happens? You start seeing a slowdown in the number of people being able to get those direct benefits because of a reckless individual who's hell-bent on basically holding the American people hostage until he gets his nominees pushed through in Congress. I see what he is doing. I know what corruption looks like, DJ. He's holding the United States of America hostage. And you're going to sit here and let him do it? Why? Because he puts this woman on national television with a cross on her bosom. You fell for it, DJ. You got the spirit of lust in you, bro. And we see right through you because
no, I see it right through you.
No.
You've gone in such a circle to try to make your point that I don't think you even know where you're going now. Are you saying that the freeze affected paychecks? Is that what you're saying?
It's going to.
So there are government employees who are not getting paid because of this freeze.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Zeus, but you're wrong.
You're wrong. Okay, so DJ, again, you and I, we met in the middle.
Talking about DEI. Now, DEI, the DEI departments, they definitely affected that, but those people are still getting paid as well.
DJ, you and I met in the middle at 50% of the budget consists of personnel costs. Okay, I'll give you that. So we get rid of the so-called DEI, which ultimately a lot of white people benefited from DEI more so than the people of color, right? So
I'm not going to argue that with you.
Okay, because W Zeus in the chat, because I just gave you the information. You don't got to believe me, but you could go look it up. So you guys are eliminating yourselves on that front. He's also offering to buy you all out. All right. 8 months worth of pay. I mean, if it's a good deal for you, go for it. But unfortunately, you know what that's going to do to our unemployment rate? It's going to send our unemployment rate through the roof. W's in the chat for Zeus. So we're going to get,
why do you think he offered the buyout?
Why? Because he wants to replace these people with Trump loyalists. You know Project 2025 is in full effect. I don't know if you believe in it or not, but a lot of us who read about it and saw it coming, we see it right now. And it's just so fascinating that you keep falling for the blonde hair, blue eyes, and the cross. I just can't believe that that's all it takes, DJ, to get you going.
I thought she was awesome.
Because you're looking with your other mind instead of the mind that you're supposed to be using, right? And this is what's going on. You know, what if Donald Trump sent me out there and I said the things that she said? Would you question it, or would you just say, "Oh, Zeus's word is gold"? You would have a lot of questions because deep down inside of you, DJ, something tells you I got to question every single thing Zeus says. He's a Democrat.
Are you trying to say because of the color of your
I said he's a Democrat. I said because he's a Democrat. Did you pay attention to what I just said, DJ? But I see where your mind went.
If you went out there and said exactly the same thing,
Yeah, nobody's going to be hurt. Joe Biden, listen,
Democrat,
listen. Nobody's going to be hurt. Joe Biden is just pausing the funding. Listen to me, and I'd probably say it better than her. And I wouldn't just put the cross on. I'd probably put some rings, some diamond rings on, and I'd put some gold teeth in my mouth. And I'd say, you guys are all going to be fine. Don't worry about what we're doing. All right. We're not stopping the money from getting to you directly, all right? But don't worry about a thing. Would you sit back and go, oh my God, I feel so comfortable with him doing that? You would really do. Well, then you don't even do it on my show right now, DJ.
If you were saying that you were going to stop the wasteful government spending and you would save the American taxpayers $50 million right then, right there, I would be singing your praises, Zeus.
Okay, so listen up, DJ. Right now, today on TikTok, trust me, I am going to stop the wasteful spending in the federal government. All right?
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is save you, DJ, thousands and thousands of dollars. All right, but what I need for you to do, DJ, is why don't you go ahead and send me a galaxy right now here on TikTok. All right, and then I'll get to work.
I'm not sure what your point is. Maybe I'm too thick. I'm not sure what me sending you a galaxy.
Oh, well,
has to do with.
Well, I just need that to kind of get started and make sure I can take care of some things on my end. But don't worry, I'm giving you a great deal. All right, just send it, DJ, and trust that I'll do what you said.
Are you saying that Caroline had some kind of great deal before she spoke to the people? I don't understand your point.
You see how you get suspicious when I'm asking you to come out of your pocket and pay for something that you and I agree needs to be done. You get you start having questions. All I'm asking you, DJ, is to use that same judgment when it comes to Caroline. Obviously, you know, just like I know, with her record, she's really not quite the honest person when it comes, especially things like money. We have no evidence of this $50 million being spent on condoms. None. But it's interesting that you actually, huh? She did.
You think she made it up?
Absolutely, DJ.
Okay, and the additional money that was going to the World Health Organization.
She made it all up. Let me ask you a question. Did she show you anything, DJ?
No, she did not. She absolutely did not.
But she gave you a pretty smile, blonde hair, and she wore that cross, and you fell for it. Did you read the part when I told you they grew up and her dad sells used trucks? He sells used trucks. So these people know how to sell stuff like that. All right? They know how to do this.
Her father sold used trucks.
Yeah.
So that makes her.
You know what they say about car sales? You know what they say about car salesmen, right?
You know what, Zeus? I was in the car business for 20 years.
Oh, W Zeus in the chat. Birds of a feather flock together.
20 years. Absolutely.
So now that we're getting to this point, DJ, now you understand why you fell for it. She's using the same tactics that you were raised on.
But you know what, Zeus? I'm not falling for you, brother. Come on. You're out here trying to trash this woman. And again, I don't know anything about the Wikipedia and the campaign. I don't know anything, so I'm not denying it. I don't know, Zeus. I've not heard that at all. But
that's why I brought it up. That's why I brought it up, because too many of you all yesterday were so thrilled with her performance, and I'm sitting back here because I got to think critically. Why is he even doing a press conference if things are going so well? And
Did you see her this morning by any chance?
Did I see her this morning? Absolutely. And that's really why we're on this type of time right now. Her and her little girlfriend. You saw her this morning, right? Her and her little girlfriend going out to get some coffee, lying to the American people once again. I said, where's the cross at? Where's the cross at, lady? When was the last time you've been to church? Huh?
Let me ask you a question.
You asked me what she's lying about, DJ. Here we go.
Yeah. Represents federal workers, though, says this isn't a voluntary buyout. They say this is a purge of people that don't agree with the president.
So they're talking about, is it a purge or is it a voluntary buyout, right?
That's absolutely false. This is a suggestion to federal workers that they have to return to work. And if they don't, then they have the option to resign. And this administration is very generously offering to pay them for 8 months.
This is a suggestion to federal workers? DJ, I don't know what you've been. Do you hear the stories that are coming out?
Absolutely.
About people being told they have to return to work. It's not a suggestion, bro.
I've got
You
a
know what? I'll
friend-
put that in.
I've got a friend that lives in
Was
Northern
the
Virginia.
vaccine mandate
Works for the
was the
federal
vaccine mandate, in your opinion, was that a suggestion too?
The vaccine mandate.
Yeah,
was
when Biden was in office. You remember you guys were getting
you mean when Biden kicked out military and federal workers and people?
that was just a suggestion.
Pardon me?
Was that was just a suggestion, right?
That was absolutely not a suggestion. There were absolutely people who lost their jobs. But listen to me for 1 second. I have a friend who lives in Northern Virginia. Her husband works for the federal government. They moved because he was not required to be in the office every day. So now Trump comes out and says, hey, you got to be in the office every day. They have, it hits them like a ton of bricks. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
What?
Trump, or I'm not saying individually Trump, because I don't know that it was him, but someone comes up with a plan that says, you know what? If it's not convenient for you to come back to work and you can't come back to work, we'll pay you for 8 months until you find a new job. How can you be more flexible than that? You don't think that that's a fair offer, Zeus?
Huh? DJ, people who are planning to retire, right? And they may have imagine you've worked for the federal government and you're trying to get to that 20-year milestone, right?
Right.
And you might be at like year 18 and you're working remotely, living your best life, spending time. 8 months isn't going to get you to the 20-year mark, bro.
Well,
these people that are working there, they didn't work for the federal government like they were working. Listen, DJ, they didn't work for the federal government like they wanted to be, in the tech industry and get a golden parachute. That's not why a lot of people do this. A lot of people take an oath, all right, to the United States when they decide to go work for the federal government. These are public servants. They're not there for the money like your cult leader. They're supposed to be there to look out for the United States of America and the people that it serves. Unfortunately, DJ, that's a bad deal. That's a terrible deal. If I were at the 18-year mark and I'm trying to get to the 20-year mark and you're going to cash me out at 8, you know what I think? You know what I think now that you say it like that, DJ? I think what they did, they don't want to pay people, DJ, now that you said it like that, I see what the scam is. They don't want to pay people their pensions, and they're trying to buy them out with this golden situation, but it's really not gold. Ladies and gentlemen, everything that glitters isn't gold.
Just go back to work, Zeus. If you're worried about your pension, why wouldn't you just go back to the office?
Did you hear the first part, DJ? Imagine you live in a state that's probably thousands of miles away from where your office is. You got your children in school.
Of miles away from your job.
Yes, a lot of people did that.
They can move back. Move back. If your pension is that important to you, move back.
Okay, so DJ, we got a house in, let's just say, Timbuktu, all right? And the kids, they're rooted into the community, all right? I got my wife here, my family is all here, and now all of a sudden I need to save my pension. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move our family all the way to Washington, D.C. At the drop of a dime. Do you understand how inconvenient that is?
You're acting like these people had a choice whether to go to the office for 20 years. We're talking about what happened since COVID.
DJ,
you're not comparing apples to apples at all.
And so, DJ, this takes me to the place. And again, I appreciate you for going deep.
People in DC. We're talking about people in DC,
all over the country. That was just an example.
No. Oh, no.
So,
we're
DJ,
people in DC, brother.
No. We're talking all over the country. A lot of people were afforded the opportunity to work remotely as a result of the pandemic. And actually, there's studies that actually say productivity actually increased. What you're not understanding is this is what Elon did, and this is what he did at his business, Tesla and whatnot. He did this trick, all right? And what it is it's a measure to save the company money because what you're doing is basically talking people out of their pensions and out of their retirement, all right? And those who are foolish enough...
Nobody else talked about pension. You've added that layer to the conversation.
Because I understand it. I've seen it before, DJ. A lot of us have been through this before.
Pensions has never come up, Zeus. Nobody has said anything about the loss of pensions.
Because
you're making that up.
So I'm making that up, DJ, and I'm making up the story about this person, Caroline, right there. And in your world, you don't trust nothing I say. And this is the problem.
Anything
DJ,
that comes from the Trump camp. Do you trust anything?
Absolutely not.
So you automatically are looking for holes. Agreed?
Holes? No, I'm looking for the truth.
No, I don't think so, Zeus.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
for
yeah.
ways
So that's why I
to
asked you.
criticize and to disagree with. That's all you're doing, brother.
No,
And
DJ.
even yesterday we saw the American people save $60 million just like that. But in your mind, it's evil and a way to steal from people.
What?
And I don't know how to,
What?
I don't know how to
DJ.
combat that.
DJ, you saw that? Show us. Where did you see the $60 million just like that?
I'm talking about from what she mentioned in that press conference.
That part. That
I was
part.
glad to look it up, Zeus.
If
And
you
I'm
could,
sure
if you could, DJ, just one bit shred of evidence to back up anything this woman said, I'll stand corrected right here.
in regards to what? You want a website?
Anything.
What do you want?
Anything you got, bro, because I just don't buy that she went up there and told the truth for, I don't know how long she was talking, like an hour. I just don't buy everything she said was so truthful, especially after I just read to you.
Anything she said was the truth, Zeus? Anything?
No.
So she's standing up there and just lied for a straight answer about everything for a straight hour.
You know what? WDJ in the chat. WDJ, finally you agree. You agree with me, bro. Thank you. And I've asked you, just find evidence, especially when it comes to these condoms. I would love to see that budget with $50 million allocated for condoms. If you could produce that, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it.
All right, brother. All right, well, listen, I got to get to work, man. Thank you for bringing me up.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a DJ. And you know what? DJ failed to produce. All right. You have a great rest of your morning, but don't do that again. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. We're going to take care of business, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, DJ got caught lying and he fell for the trap. Blonde hair, you know, the eyes and the cross. He fell for the trap and he actually believed everything this woman said yesterday. And then I asked him to produce some evidence and he could not produce the evidence. So guess what we're going to do? DJ schooled me. Okay. If he schooled me, he fooled you. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's send DJ straight to the bottom of the lake of fire. All right, DJ, try again.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it? And we figured it out right there. He clearly, I'm going to leave that alone. All right. So listen, as you can see, these Trump supporters, they have no problems backing criminals, and actually they love being lied to. All right. This is some sick and twisted stuff they've gotten themselves into. All right. And so what we'll do now, ladies and gentlemen, is we'll move on. All right. I got to bring up some of the next panelist. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Who do we got next? Good morning, Brother Swerve. All right. Welcome.
Good morning, Brother Zeus.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to all you beautiful tiny people living in my telephone.
Good morning.
So I love how you brought up with DJ thinking critically.
Yeah.
When you think critically about what she said, because I read the same stuff you read about this $50 million in condoms and broke the math down on the population. You know, Wilt, I think it was Wilt Chamberlain in his book, he only claimed 10,000.
Oh, yeah.
So how many, like, I wonder, was that funding held back just for him? For
Right.
back in the day? I mean,
Yeah.
it just don't make no sense why they can't critically think about this stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, he looked at that woman, he saw that cross, and he believed everything she said. But if you would have got up there and said the same thing, or I would have got up there and said the same thing, he would have been like, that's a Democrat.
Yep.
DJ ain't fooling nobody.
Nope.
That's the plain truth of it.
That part.
And I'm looking at this, you know, I did some reading last night.
Talk to him.
On what other programs are going to be affected by this. My roommate works for a nonprofit organization. Their funding has been cut. The federal funding that they got has been cut.
Wow.
Now they have monies in their coffers to float the company
Right.
for the next 60 days. That's provided they can create a schedule where there's no overtime.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're already
Student loans,
they
yeah.
told them at the beginning of the year
Yeah.
they might have to start drawing down some of the benefits.
Thank you.
Right?
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing is we're giving you the truth. that the press secretary yesterday, she wouldn't give you this truth. This is the reality. Listen up.
Any organization that has a DEI program involved with it, funding gone. SNAP benefits are going to be there. Okay?
Yep.
Medicare, Medicaid, that stuff's going to be there. Federal licensing. If there's somebody in that federal licensing chain of command, like the fishery in Alaska, for that show Deadliest Catch, if there's somebody in that chain of command they feel is DEI, money's gone, close the licensing down, can't nobody go fishing to go your crab legs. This is what we mean when we say critically think, MAGA. Y'all lack that skill.
Thank you.
Because you don't see things through to their finality. You can't see 5 minutes in front of your face.
That part.
You only see what she said, and you went, yeah, we're saving $50 million on condoms. You watch any day now, Zeus, you wait and see. I'm telling you, 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks. My egg price is going to be 99 cents a dozen. I'm going to be getting my eggs for 99 cents a gallon, and a bushel of gasoline is going to cost me $1.
Y'all are...
You wait. But this is the mentality. They're okay with the 15% tax increase.
Yeah.
While at the same time simping for billionaires, talking about, well, billionaires are the ones who create the jobs. No, the employees are the ones that create the product for those billionaires to make the money that they make.
Thank you, Swerve. Because you see this Trump supporter swerving in my chat right now, and you actually, I can tell, have them crying. Please continue. We're not going to apologize for what we're saying. We got to tell the American people.
And here's what's funny to me, Zeus. I reposted a video of a Latina woman, and she's crying, talking about she voted for Trump. Now her grandpa and her parents could end up being deported, and this ain't what I voted for. Wow. And then all of a sudden it turned into we need to come together. No, ma'am, there is no we.
No.
Because we have been telling you for years.
Thank you.
We have been telling you and trying to educate you on what this man would do.
Thank you.
This man has shown you who he is, and you didn't believe him. And we tried to warn you about it. We were the ones that sat on lives and read Project 2025. We were the ones who sat here and went over Agenda 47. We were the ones that gave you all the details you needed.
W Swerve in the chat.
I don't know if you got house in your pocket, but there is no we.
None.
And I actually had somebody, Zeus, come into my live yesterday. He had the actual chutzpah to tell me that he was a Trump supporter. He voted for Trump. He was at January 6th to support the American people. And what can we do to just get past this?
Absolutely nothing.
I'm like, what do you mean? Where do y'all keep coming from with this we?
No. And I know because we talked to, we're supposed to be trying to be more loving right now. But you know what? There has to be some sort of punishment for this, right, Swerve? There has to be.
Something's got to happen. I mean, like I said, the downside to this, Zeus, is because people like myself and you and others in the chat right now,
thank you.
We did everything that we could do in warning these people what was going to happen.
That part.
Right? They took it upon themselves, and when their taxes go up, they're going to sit there and blame Joe Biden.
That part.
Knowing that the Trump plan is still in effect, and it's going to be the new Trump plan.
That part.
It's going to go into effect, and their taxes are going up.
That part.
But they're going to be okay with it because they're going to twist themselves in some way to believe that Joe Biden did it. Mm-hmm. So after we spent all this time warning you, I don't want to hear you complain.
I don't.
Unless you got a mouse in your pocket right now, ain't no we. Ain't no way. And the downside, they have effed around,
and
we all have to find out.
W swerving in the chat.
That's the plain truth.
Someone says MAGA has marshmallows for brains.
Well, some marshmallows can be kind of smooth.
Yeah, that's true. But no lies detected. If Swerving was lying, listen, my audience, if he was lying, we would definitely stop him and say, hey, that's not true. But there's no lies detected.
Mm-hmm.
You all are about to suffer. You're all heading towards a 1929 style depression at the hands of your dear leader.
And when I'm going to tell you like this, Zeus, when you're sitting here going over something that I just read not 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
About $50 million in condoms.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
Right. Ain't that much plowing going on over there? Ain't that much plowing going on over there?
Your brain should have clicked on and said, wait a second.
Thank you.
50 million?
50 million.
Let me go look into this because that just don't sound, they don't even sound close to being right.
No. And again, a lot of us know what we're talking about when I'm saying plowing. Ain't nobody got that much time on their hands in Gaza. No one. No. Ain't that much.
I don't care how much.
And she thinks.
You think you're doing, you ain't going through 2,000 condoms in a year.
Nope. No, it's not. And you know it. And I know it. All right. Well, listen, Brother Swerve, I appreciate it. All right. I got to get to we got to keep getting to these, the truth out here, but I appreciate you.
No, that's fine, man. I appreciate you bringing me up.
No problem.
Always, you all have a great rest of your day. Be well, be safe, and doggone it, have fun while you're doing it.
All righty then, ladies and gentlemen.
You take care, Zeus. And
all right.
Zeus, I hope you have a great day also.
We will and we shall, ladies and gentlemen. W Swerve in the chat. Make sure you follow Swervin. All right. He gets deeper into the weeds, all right? He does when it comes to this stuff, but because we have to keep this show moving along, all right, I got to just try to get through as many of people as I can. Now, I see some people in my chat getting triggered by the way that we're delivering this message, especially to those of you who believe that there's $50 million in condoms being used in Gaza. Do me a huge favor.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. Be kind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you, but you can send me a guest request. If you're a Trump supporter and you want to come up here and at least say something to try to defend your dad, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat, and I'll bring you right up here. All right. I'm one of the fairest hosts out here, so you don't got to get nasty. I've done all of that. No one could be more nasty on my show than Zeus. I want to stick to the issues. Luca, good morning. Haven't I spoken with you before?
Good morning. Yeah, we have.
Well,
I've gator walked you a few times.
What do you want to say today? Oh, on your live, Ange. Oh, now they coming out of the woodworks. Now they want to get up here and try to look and sound reasonable. Explain to us why we should believe you today.
What are you talking about?
What do you have to say to all of us today that's so grand and truthful? Because what we're trying to do is expose liars like you. So what do you got today for us? What lies are you trying to peddle? Let me see if I want to. Let me see if I want to buy it. Let me see if I want to buy what you're selling. Let's go. What do you got?
I've lied about, Zeus.
Everything.
How dumb do you sound saying that? Tell me what I lied about.
Everything. Give me something. What are you selling, bro? You ain't got nothing new.
You sound
so it's just
honestly. So you haven't even spoke to me.
So it's just insults today. It's just insults.
You're calling me a liar. That's an insult.
Well, okay. Let's start fresh. Let's start fresh.
Let's start
fresh. Let's start fresh.
No. I'm not gonna let you back off that, hypocrite. You're the one throwing insults, aren't you?
Did I? What was the insult?
Calling me a liar before I even said anything.
Okay. Well, we spoke in Ange's live before.
Yeah, and I didn't
lie.
Then
you were lying.
You can't point out anything that I lied
about. Well,
you
lied when you were telling me.
Let's see. You're the liar. How about that? What a fucking hypocrite you are.
Now, can you stop cursing? Luca, obviously, I'm going to need you. We're going to let's just reset.
You can't even have a decent conversation without first calling someone a liar. Man, you're low level, buddy.
Luca? My job with you is done. Luca, let me tell you something, bro. There's a power dynamic going on here. All right, I'm in control. I got all the keys. I got the red button. My red button over here, sir. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Luca is no longer relevant, if you know what I mean. And so, Luca, you think I'm a liar? Well, let me tell you something that's true. I'm about to send you straight to hell. And now you tell me if I'm lying about it, Luca. But let me tell you. Let's see if this is real, ladies and gentlemen. Luca got in my box. He's a Trump supporter. Automatically means he's a liar. And then he tried to say, well, I'm not a liar. You are a liar. And guess what, Luca? You're going straight to hell. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is.
either stupid or you hate the country.
W Rick in the chat. W Rick. He's a liar, and I'll tell you all exactly why he's a liar. And the funny thing about it is, I would have let him come up and try to prove that he's not. I was going to actually say, Luca, fine. You know, because I'm Triple H. I have no problem saying, oh, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I got you confused, you know, because I may have profiled you and looked at you. You know, you can look at people sometimes, right? And Luca, I wanted if I got it wrong, I was just using a test your dear leader said that I could use, right?
Open borders.
This test, right?
With people pouring in.
Right.
Some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble.
That's all I did. That's all I did, Luke. I just looked at you and I said, could be trouble. And that's a test. That's a valid test. I learned it from your dear leader. And so if he can use it, I can use it. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the lie that he didn't want me to bring up, but I'm going to bring it up because guess what? I got to be truthful with all of you. You guys hold me accountable, right? I said, Luca, all these executive orders that Donald Trump has passed, have you seen any of them that would help bring down the cost of my eggs and my groceries? Cap my credit card interest at 10%, you know, cut my utility bill in half, Luca. And he said, Zeus, come on. He hasn't been in the office long enough. At that time, I think it was 5. It's only been 5 days, Zeus. That's not enough time. And so, Luca, that's the lie. He can do a lot of things in 24 hours. All right. This is Rambo on steroids, actually. This is the guy who dodges, you know, pew-pews, all right? He dodges them like he's in the Matrix. This is the chosen one, Luca. This guy got gold you wouldn't believe. This is drill, baby, drill, Luca. 24 hours is a long time, all right? And he could have brought down our egg prices. He could have got the grocery prices. He could have capped credit card interest at 10% amongst all the other things he promised. And unfortunately, he didn't. And you're making excuses and lying to Big Zeus, all right? So that's why, Luca, I sent you straight to hell. Care less.
Silence!
All right.
Naga Damon!
Michael says Zeus doesn't read enough. Michael, why don't you come right on up here and bring up whatever it is that you would like for me to read. I was trying to be nice this morning today, ladies and gentlemen. I really am. Michael, you don't want to come up here? Okay, so guess what, Michael? I'm just going to assume you're a Russian bot. Zeus is lying to everyone else right now. Real American News. All right. How about this? How about this, Real American News? All right. You and I, come on up here and you just get it right on out and tell everyone what I'm lying about.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. What am I lying about? That's a bold statement.
Yeah, the egg prices. Did you know that Biden ordered 1 million chickens to be killed right before he left? Because of
Can you use the word unalived on here because we don't want to get the live flagged? Now, do you have the evidence of that?
Yeah, it's literally
Show us.
available on Google.
Show us.
What do you?
So what do I need to type into Google? Biden what?
1 million chickens unalived. Egg
Now,
price high due
so before I look into this any further, I guess what I'm trying to get clarification on, you're trying to say that there's a place in this country where President Joe Biden went to and ordered a bunch of, and so he himself told those, he himself said, bring me these chickens, and he stood there with some sort of
agriculture did.
Oh, so Biden himself didn't do it.
His administration.
Oh my gosh!
His
Okay.
appointed administration. That's what happens when you're a president. You appoint people to certain positions.
Okay, so Biden. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where you're getting this. All right. 1 million? You said 1 million?
Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure I get all of this. Because what I don't want people to do is I don't want them to think
is an egg shortage.
Okay. Let's see. Trump. What the White House meant when it said Biden directed Okay, million chickens. That's not exactly correct, and it needs some context. Those unalivings are required by the Department of Agriculture to contain the spread of the highly contagious avian flu that has afflicted over 1 million birds since 2022.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
according to the American Farm, the egg laying birds either unalive naturally or are culled to avoid the spread of the deadly virus. It is up to the farmers to report an outbreak and to state officials and the Department of Agriculture, which will eliminate the impacted flock. Farmers can
so it
apply.
really
Okay,
has nothing
so
to do with
so
anybody. It was
so
a,
so
it was
so so you know what I would like for you to do? Real American news. Don't you think it's time for you to just drop the American and the real part in your name and just call it what it is?
I just
Propaganda.
exposed a lie.
Propaganda.
Like, you just read it.
No,
You just
but
said that Trump can, in 24 hours, Trump can decrease egg prices.
oh,
How
no,
can he do that if there is a flu?
oh,
How? And why did Joe Biden let egg prices get up to $4.18? It got up 68% under his administration.
how old are you, if you don't mind?
I'm
Because
30 years old.
all right, all right. Now I'm
And
going
I
to say
advise
this.
anybody on here that wants real American news, go on my page, give me a follow, and watch some of these videos. I dismantle you guys every time.
Okay, let me help you out with that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be lied to and manipulated and grifted, follow this guy right here. All right, he'll do it all, and he'll do it for the low. All right, so now you got your plug in. Let's get into the unaliving of these chickens that got a deadly virus. You agree they should have been unalived, right? Or do you think we should have eaten them?
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying that you
no, no,
can't
no.
blame any administration on
Oh,
specifically the eggs. You can't
oh.
blame the previous administration on it, and you can't blame this administration on it. So you are being dishonest to your viewers. That's all I'm saying.
But the
Telling
press
you how it
the
is.
press secretary yesterday brought up Joe Biden, and she's doing what you said we can't do. Number one,
Because the egg prices went up before this outbreak.
but the thing is, I don't know if you.
Now it's uncontrollable because of the outbreak, but the egg prices went up 68% before the outbreak.
Jesus. Oh, he even threw a percentage out there. Wow. It's like
Yeah.
you're repeating everything we were saying last year when you all were crying about the eggs. What changed?
Last year,
Yeah, last year. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you because
2022.
right. Well, during the campaign, you all were crying about the egg prices, and I don't know if you know how long you've known of me, but I've spoken to a lot of people on the right while Biden was in office who cried tears, and I'm talking boo-hoo tears about these egg prices.
Well, then they
And
didn't know what they were talking about.
and no. They actually said we didn't know what we were talking about when we quoted exactly word for word what you just said. So I can't help but ask, what has changed in the world of MAGA now, where all of a sudden facts, data, and statistics matter? What changed?
I can't tell you what has changed for the people you've spoken to in the past, but here at Real American News, nothing has changed.
So let's just get this clear and on the record. What happened with the egg prices under President Biden was not President Biden's fault at all.
As far as the egg prices, since 2022 until today, it is neither administration's fault.
So Biden has been absolved.
Since 2022 to current
That's about the egg prices. So you know what I'm going to do? Thank you for absolving President Biden. It's not.
That's what we do here. We tell the truth.
No. Now we got to get into Donald Trump now. Donald Trump throughout his campaign, he said crazy stuff, but you know what? I actually believed it. A lot of these things would have never happened if he were president. Remember stuff like this, whether we're talking about the conflict with Ukraine and Russia or what's going on in Israel with Gaza and the Palestinian folks. And then he said, inflation, he would have get this addressed day one. All right. And part of the thing with the egg prices is the avian flu, but also there's the inflation. So let me ask you, what executive order has he passed to help bring down the cost of these eggs?
The executive order.
Which
for
one?
energy-
Because he's
energy production.
he's an executive order guru.
National emergency for energy.
Okay, so he's doing things like.
Will lift regulations and allow for more production and refineries to be built.
But the problem is, sir, the egg prices are still going up. So what else has he done?
The egg prices are still going up because the flu hasn't been contained in these farms.
Okay, but
we have to bounce back from 1 million birds getting murdered on our American
unalive. So I don't know if you understand the power Donald Trump has. Do you remember the classified documents? He actually said he can think about it and declassify them. So you got to understand how much power this guy has.
Oh, I understand what the executive.
So he should be able to think about these egg prices going down, right? Because this is your guy. This is the guy who dodges. You know, there was an attempt on his life, and he's dodging those things, right? This is your Messiah. Why can't he get the cost of the eggs down? Why can't he get the grocery prices down? Why can't he cut the utilities? And I get you're saying he did this executive order to allow us to do the drill, baby, drill. But how long do we gotta wait, bro? He's firing people. He's freezing federal funding. He's doing mass deportations. And those are impressive things to do. But he can't get these prices down. You're making excuses.
Okay, so exactly like yesterday, you were on this live, and you were one of the creators that were spreading the lie about him taking away people's assistance and food stamps and all these things, right? And that was debunked. Again, you guys can go on my video, and I have a video of you guys completely getting debunked. It is not going to affect any individual.
Let me see.
All.
Let me go.
And you guys were sitting here spreading misinformation and lies.
Okay, which video is it? I see he has a video he just posted. White House finds $50 million for condoms and it has an impressive number of views, 37 views.
Yeah, I just started this page.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you know who Snuggles is?
I don't think I want to.
Well, you sound like you're a Snuggles University graduate, and you know where he got his degree from? Believe it or not, Trump University.
I don't know who Snuggles is.
Well, he's a content creator on this app who worships Donald Trump, probably worse than you. And he says the exact and a lot of the talking points, sir, that you've been saying, they sound like they came directly from the Snuggles School of Snuggles. And like I said, he got his degree from Trump University. So what I'm going to have to do is, you just created your page. You got, you got a good following, 1,000, 1,200 people. That's pretty impressive. I'm looking at your videos and the engagement. It's getting there, but it's just not quite there. And you're repeating a bunch of lies and misinformation, and you don't got much facts. And so what we'll have to do is, I'm going to give you a break. Right? I'm going to allow you to keep coming back to this show, all right? But I'm going to ask that you actually bring more credible information, all right? So that we can actually do a little bit of what I like to call a deep dive. What I want to do is a deep dive. All right? I didn't lie about a thing. These freezes.
Literally just before I got on here, said in 24 hours, Donald Trump can change the egg prices.
He can. Oh, so Donald Trump lied to us.
No, he did not lie to us. You are lying.
No.
By telling your viewers that. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay, well, unfortunately, you're not listening to the same Donald Trump we've all been listening to.
Said that everybody was going to lose their federal assistance. That was a lie. The White House cleared that up. And guess what? They came out with a Q&A that you can look up right now and put on your screen.
So why did the website go down? Let me ask you this. Why did the website for a minute?
Guess what happens? If you've ever been on a government website, they get overloaded. They suck, right? So when the mass media and you guys are out here spreading lies and telling people that they're going to lose all their assistance, what happens? Millions of people go on that website at once, and then it fucking crashes.
Oh, there you go. The curse word. Listen. All right. I'm glad that you have a very clear understanding about why you're suffering. I think that's quite impressive that you still lack the ability to actually think critically when it comes to some of the things that your cult leader is doing. It's clear you have no idea that website was doing just fine until Donald Trump released that executive order. Wait a second. Wait. It's clear that website was doing just fine until he decided to pause federal funding. You don't have no clue about what impact this is going to have, right? When was the last time you had access to federal funding in terms of, administering it and implementing it in various programs all across this country? You ever done anything like that? Probably not. So what I'll do. So what I'll do is this. I'll help you help yourself. Unfortunately, sir, this you're just not qualified to actually have a serious conversation about stuff like this. The previous guest at least sounded a little more intelligent, DJ.
Yeah,
But
I'm
you
sorry you lost. I'm
All right,
sorry.
all right. And what I'll do, but you come on back because I got to move it on. You did an excellent job, honestly. You did an excellent job sticking to your guns and believing what you believe in. And I appreciate that. And you kept it clean for the most part, all right, but I got to move it on.
Apologize about the language.
No problem. All right, all right, all right, all right, ladies and gentlemen. That's he calls himself Real American News, but that's real Russian propaganda. No truth in there. No facts, data, or statistics to back up anything, but a lot of loyalty to Donald Trump and the cult. All right. So what we're gonna do is listen. You might be a good person, but with that MAGA demon, you're not such a great person. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send him to the bottom of the lake of fire and hopefully get him on the right track.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you, this is serious. When you freeze federal dollars, there is an impact, and it isn't always instant. A lot of these federal agencies, they allocate money to other agencies, whether they're other federal agencies, whether they're other state agencies or local agencies. And then those agencies turn around and they do things like hire people, pay for things that help children in various communities. And so what you have is a system of support that has basically been cut off as a result of freezing the federal funding. And the impact of this, it's not going to be felt instantly. No, what's going to end up happening is payroll is still going to continue to occur. But at a certain point, the rubber needs to meet the road. And when they go and they say, hey, we need that money to cover these costs, it's going to be a serious conversation going on. And if possible, layoffs. And so this is why I've been saying what I've been saying. We're heading towards a 1929 style depression, ladies and gentlemen, one like we've never seen before. Because at least in 1929, it was external factors and a lot going on, right? But this is self-inflicted. I've never seen anything like this, right? All right, so let's move it on, ladies and gentlemen, and bring up the next panelist. All right, we got a lot of interesting people up here, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of interesting people. Good morning, Q Dog. Welcome. I'm all right. I am all right. Just another day in the kingdom dealing with, a lot of the misinformation out here. How about you?
You know how it is, bro. They come with all the BS communication instead of sticking to the facts.
That part.
They want to talk. They want to dance around and go around the whole mulberry
Hit 'em.
instead of getting to the real truth. Now, why is it that you want to talk about egg prices? You want to talk about the flu and bird flu and all this, but no one has yet to say anything about Elon Musk taking 190 million from children with the C factor. Nobody want to mention that. These babies are in the hospital dealing with this illness, and he wants to take 190 million. But they got 50 million to give for condoms.
WQ dog.
You know, the one thing that I can say I don't agree with organized crime, and when we talk about New York and Detroit, where we're going with that.
Right.
At least they had a code not to harm women and children.
That part.
But these SOBs want to attack women.
That part.
Take their rights away from them.
That
They
part.
want to attack our culture and remove all the rights that we have from the job place to the schools and so forth.
That part.
I seen a post where this dude in Texas comes up to these two black women over the way they parked.
What? Either two white guys?
No, one white guy.
Oh.
And they tried.
I just had to ask.
They identified him. And then he goes off on them about how they park. And then assaults them. They call the police. They put in an investigation. They identified the guy,
Yeah.
but they ain't heard nothing else about it.
Wow. Y'all okay with that, MAGA?
Now,
Y'all
what if that was the person in that picture right behind you? They would have had a manhunt. It's amazing how they want to dictate certain situations, but when it comes to the nit and gritty of the conversation, they want to evade that. They don't want to talk about that. Now, this man has clearly taken away want to take away Medicare from the elderly, just like that idiot that was on the panel yesterday, and you was asking him, well, if their heating system, their AC system, is not working.
Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. Yeah, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom.
Well, that's a waste of money. See, that's how they think. But understand this: one day your behinds are gonna get old.
Cooked. Yep. Tell them
you're gonna get old.
That part.
And when they walk over your body,
that part,
you sitting there shivering and using the restroom on yourself. And you can't even wipe your own behind.
That part. Go ahead, Q-Dog.
You're going to understand right then and there. Karma comes back around the corner real fast.
Spinning the block on you like that. Tell them. They know.
Real fast. Keep disrespecting the elderly and abusing the elderly and attacking these children.
That part.
You understand this?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this one more time.
Tell them.
Pharaoh had an army.
Yeah.
And he did the same thing. And wonder why you see all this red in the United States that Elon Musk assisted with. You might want to take a picture. God is trying to get your attention.
Ooh, W in the chat, Q-Dog.
Trying to get your attention.
Is he trying to get it with this woman in the background with the cross on her chest?
That's the A factor for the Red Sea. And y'all not even getting the picture.
They don't.
You wondering why all these natural disasters are happening.
Woo!
God said he was never going to destroy the world by water again. He said that. If you read the Bible and understand the Bible,
preach it.
You might want to go back in that passage.
So we might use fire next time.
What you're thinking and what you're doing in this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Snow in California. Snow in Florida.
Hell is freezing over, in other words.
You better wake up.
Y'all better wake up.
I'm not talking about on no political platform. You better wake up real quick, fast, in a hurry. He tried to get your attention 5 years ago.
There you go.
A plague will take out a nation.
Oh!
You might want to wake up and think about it. Because 5 years ago, y'all were on your hands and knees, thanking God, wanting to repent to God, wanting to turn your life over to God, and now y'all back to the same old bull crap.
Devil worshippers. These are some devil worshippers.
Even worse now. And they laughing about it. See?
Mocking the God. They're mocking
God. God off. And you better get yourself right before it's a little bit too late for you. I'm trying to tell you.
W. Shay Lou. Q-Dog ain't playing this morning. He's backing you down.
You know, I had a conversation, bro, and it brought to my attention, you know, my father has gone on with my mother 5 years ago due to C-19.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my sister. My sister is 15 years older than me. She's 65. And I asked her, I said, sis, do we have anybody in our family that we can turn to try to get some information about our family tree?
Right.
And she said, well, you know, one cousin, her name was Frederica, you know, she was in the midst of putting together a family tree for us, but she passed away.
Right.
And she said, well, you know what? We got another cousin, and she lives right down in Alabama. I said, what?
Yeah.
I said, let's get on the phone. She's 92 years old.
Wow.
She's the oldest living relative on my father's side.
Wow.
And she said, and I asked her because my grandmother on my daddy's side was born in the early 1900s. I wanted to know on my father's side, because he's from Alabama, who may have been born into slavery.
Yeah.
and she gave me some names and numbers of cousins that are working on that right now. This just out the blue.
Yeah.
God just told me to call my sister out the blue and just ask her this question. She said, "Yeah, give her a call." And we did a 3-way with her. And when I tell you, my cousin is 92 years old. She sounds like she in her mid-30s.
Wow.
You would not believe. And she was like, she said, Todd, she's like, this Uncle SJ's son. I said, yes, ma'am. So, because my elder, even though they're my cousins, if they're elderly, they're like my aunties.
Yeah. And you
I
got to
said,
have that respect for them.
Exactly.
There you go.
And she said, I'm so glad you guys called me.
Amen.
And
Beautiful.
I hadn't talked to anybody. Everybody's, gone on to glory.
Yeah.
On my father's side of the family. She's one of the last living elder relatives.
Yeah. Wow. That's
So,
impressive.
And she reminded me of grandma when she was talking. Yes.
Kabira's
grandma.
Yeah, or her mother. Yeah, we got to get the wisdom out here. That's what this is about. As much as we banter and we go back and forth, it's really about passing on the truth from one generation to the next. All right, and using it to become better people.
Exactly.
All right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, man. She said, and she was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
That Kabira's grandma was saying.
Wow.
That experience, man, of what she lived through. And I thank God that I was able to find her, and she right down the block, man.
Amen.
Right, next state over.
Amen. WQ, well, listen, brother, I appreciate it. I gotta move it on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. Q Dog always bringing the real, the rugged, and the raw. No lies detected. All right, brother.
Definitely, man. I'm here if you need me, bro.
Will do.
And one final word for MAGA. Look, we don't hate you. We hate how you think and how you act towards people that God put you on this earth to love. Love thy neighbor.
That part.
When you don't do that, and then we reply in a different form, you think we hate you. No, we just don't like how you do things.
That part. All right.
So change yourself.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Q Dog right there. Somebody got to get the truth out there. All right. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's a show of force. We get out here and we play our game and we're going to win. All right. W Zeus in the chat. Now listen up. Where are all the Trump supporters at in the chat? All right. Please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right on up here. We'll help you get to the bottom of whatever issues are bothering you. But you got to be honest with us. Do not get in here and start pretending like we did not live for 4 years with you all crying about things like egg prices. We listened to them cry about the egg prices. We listened to you cry about the grocery prices. Oh, Biden this, Biden that. Now we get you in the box and you go, oh, well, no president. This is what they say. No president could control the egg prices. You are sick. You know what? All right, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right up. Or you can send me a guest request if you are a Trump supporter. All right, please. Go ahead. We don't got much time to get through all of this. If you are a Trump supporter, identify yourself in the chat. Place a 1. All right. If you believe this woman yesterday and anything she said, please. We are not going to get them from China anymore. Cindy, what do you mean you're not getting what from China? Did I miss something? Cindy? What are you not getting from China? I hope you're not talking about eggs. Chi-Town, I sent you an invite. Why don't you come on up here? Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter or you voted for Donald Trump, right? Because you know they don't like to be called Trump supporters. If you voted for Donald Trump, put a 1 in the chat. All right. Lady Boss. Oh, we got one. Lee. Come on up here, Lee. My good friend Lee. Welcome, Lee. How are you doing?
Good, man.
All right. You voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
What part of America are you in?
I live in Michigan. So.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Shout out to Michigan. What does Donald Trump have to do, honestly, to make you say, I'm done supporting him? What can he do? What would it take for him to do that? What would he have to do, I mean?
No, I'm at a 100% behind him, so nothing's gonna change me. I'm just came up here because of
Wait a second. Nothing?
nothing. No, nothing.
That's. I mean, don't you think that's pretty alarming? That's pretty scary.
No,
I mean, and I appreciate the honesty. Nothing.
what's the alternative?
No
What
deal.
was
There's nothing Donald Trump could do, in your opinion, that would make you say, you know what, sir, I just can't go that far with you.
there is? What was the alternative? What was the alternative?
Maybe you would have to deal with someone you might not like because of their policies, right? But that's way different than actually, putting someone in there that is just a bad person, right?
But that's one thing. Like the guy before was calling Trump supporters the devil. I mean, it's kind of far. I mean, this is like a whole nother level of hate.
Well, why do you think that happened? Why do you think a lot of us? I actually refer to you as demons. You guys got the MAGA demon. Are you a Christian in any capacity?
I am a Christian, but I mean,
Oh,
what I'm trying.
So
What
I don't. I know a lot of you don't want or like to blend the politics with the religion, right? You guys try to keep it separate, but unfortunately, a lot of us out here, we just can't quite bring ourselves to do that, because we actually think, the whatever you believe in will play out into your decisions in various areas of your life, including politics, right? Do you believe that?
No, I believe it's, I think politics, unfortunately, blend in with religion, I think. But,
Yeah.
to a certain extent, 50-50, I would say, about, like,
Right. So say I was a liar and a thief and a cheat. Would that cause you to believe that maybe I'm not quite the right person to take on a very, very high position of leadership? Or would you say, you know what? I know how to separate that from that.
well, Jesus himself picked imperfect people for his disciples. So, if Trump changed in life, we're bringing up things 30, 40 years ago. I mean, people change, man. Like, he could have changed into be a beautiful person. Doesn't people change, right?
They have the ability to change, right? But you still have to use a certain amount of discernment, right? Because what we can't do is allow people that need to be we don't want people that should repent, right? We don't want to let people off the hook for things that they should repent for, right? Because then you know what we're doing, right? We're enabling them. We're facilitating the sin, so to speak, right?
It's true.
And there's a saying, a leopard never changes its spots. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we got going on right now, and I like that you all kind of went back and you said this stuff happened years and years ago. I would say we could even look to things that Donald Trump is doing right now, today, that clearly demonstrate this is not really Christ-like, if you know what I mean, right? This is stuff that's going on right now that you can point at and say, obviously, he hasn't changed, right?
So let's say, going forward, like the next election, why don't we just all vote for priest? We'll just have priest, because they don't commit sin. We'll have
No,
priest.
no. So that's what you did, was you just jumped from one frying pan into the next, and I wouldn't recommend that, right? What I'm looking for is a person that has moral conviction, someone that has integrity, someone that actually has the ability to do the job and won't continue to lie and attack people and bear false witness and stuff like that. In Proverbs chapter 6, all of those things that God hates. Lying tongue and stuff like that. And so Donald Trump continues to lie to the American people, right? Let's just start with the lying. When is it going to stop?
I think he's very transparent. What lies?
So the lie about the results of the 2020 election, that's transparent?
No, what I'm saying is,
thank you for saying no, because that's a start. So he's lying.
No, I'm not saying he's lying, because I actually thought there was a lot going on during that election.
Well, I'm not saying it's a crime to think and be suspicious. But what I'm saying is, when you know the information you're sharing out is a lie or not truthful, then it's lying, right? And we're at a point now in 2025 where we all know that Joe Biden won that election, and there was no outcome determinative fraud, which means, yeah, there may have been stuff that occurred, but it wouldn't have been enough to change the actual result. So that's going to be in the history books, whether you like it or not. And I think that Donald Trump should be honest with all of his supporters about that, but he won't. These other lies he told, he was going to end this conflict in Ukraine in 24 hours. He hasn't done that.
Yeah, but he's working on it.
But again, he said he could do it in 24 hours. I mean, at a certain point, a lie is a lie.
I think right now, everybody's really riled up because of the election just happened. But I think for most Americans, I think within a year, everybody's going to be really happy what's going on. And to be honest with you, I think within the next 4 years of this term, I bet you a lot more people are going to sway the other way. I think a lot of Democrats are going to leave their party because they're going to see the progress of this country the next 4 years.
What evidence? What evidence do you have to suggest the country is going to actually be better? Right now, he's doing something called mass deportations. I don't know if you've heard about that. And the Democrats were saying that not just the people who are criminals and who came into this country illegally are going to be, sucked up, but Americans are actually going to be sucked up. Innocent Americans are going to be sucked into these mass deportations. And they didn't believe it, but now they're starting to believe it because guess what? Guess what he's doing? He's just picking people who look suspicious.
Unfortunately, the way I look at this is like this.
Don't you think that's a problem?
Someone had to do it. You could point your finger at whatever, but somebody was eventually going to have to come in and fix this mess. Eventually, someone was going to have to get dirty. Okay?
So we have to violate the Constitution, right?
No, there's no Constitution. He's deporting people that came here illegal.
Well, they're not getting their due process, number one, and he's also going after American citizens in the name of trying to defend, this country, right? You heard how he vets these people to see if they're here legally. You know his process.
How is it?
Open borders with people pouring in, some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble, could be trouble.
Is that a good way to look at, to vet people who should be in the country legally, is just to look at them? Lee, is that fall in line with how you live your life as a Christian, as a Christ, as a man of God? It doesn't.
No, but I mean,
but so how do you wrap your mind around supporting somebody that does that? I mean, would it be wrong for me? Would it be wrong for me?
Let's all admit that we had a border problem going on. So let's just say, let's just say Kamala won. She won the.
But you see what you did. You see what you're doing, right? You saw who he was, your daddy. And you said, oh, that's too scary for me. And then you went and started thinking about Democrats. You got to stop it, Lee.
No, what I'm trying to say is if she started doing it, would you guys be like, in a nice way? If she did it in a nice way so no one got mad, it's almost the same thing. It's almost the same thing Obama was doing when he was deporting people.
Oh.
How do you think he was, when he deported everybody, you think that, what did they do, the process to deport people?
But you see what you did, Lee? Now we're talking about Obama? You see the issue? And I'm glad you did this because it comes natural, like driving a stick shift does, right? You learn it and you just can't stop unlearning it. You literally went and started talking about Kamala Harris and Barack Obama when I just played a clip from Donald Trump, who was just saying, I look at people and I could just tell they could be trouble.
No,
you're a Christian, and so I asked you, does that fall in line with your Christian values? You said no, which is a good thing, but then the larger question then becomes, how do you set aside your Christian values and get behind a person that does things like that you know are wrong?
Because one way or the other, we were going to have to get behind someone to do this job. Somebody was going to have to do it. It was out of control. So one way or the other, someone was going to get the fingers pointed at him, and I'm kind of happy it's Trump because he can actually take it. You know? Yeah.
You know what I say about that? You know what I say about that, right? It makes me go, is Lee really a Christian? You know what I mean? Because you got to have standards. And I wouldn't want the good Lord, you know, the Jesus in that Bible, I wouldn't want him to compromise on his values and his beliefs for the sake of just trying to, you know, make himself feel good. I don't think that's very Christ-like. You know what I mean? I don't know of any example in the good book where Jesus himself did exactly what you did.
Yeah,
You know, because other than if that happened, there wouldn't be a Bible, right? You got to stand up, Lee. You got to grow some spine. And if people are out here doing wrong, then you got to be able to look them in their eye and say, you're wrong. Now, you got in the box and I asked you, you agree, right?
No, but
you agree, right?
I understand you're shooting this all towards me.
Well,
but,
because
I mean,
you got in the box and you said,
what is it that you would have done for this situation?
I would have stood up and said, absolutely not. That's
Let
a bridge
everybody
too.
in. Let everybody in. Everybody come on in.
If it would have been causing me to go against the promise I made to the good Lord, then I would say, you know what? My relationship with God is way more important than that. And I would have focused on getting myself and my soul right as opposed to trying to please mankind. That's what I would have did, Lee. So Lee,
you changed me. You changed me. From here on out, my view is just let everybody in.
I didn't say anything like that, Lee.
No. I'm not being sarcastic. You know what? Honestly, you got a good point. Everybody should have a chance. Everybody.
And now that's true. But Lee, the issue that I brought up, and the reason I brought that up is because what you said was very concerning as a Christian. I said, is there anything Donald Trump could do to cause you to not support him? And you honestly answered no. Now, I don't know if that was you speaking or if that was the MAGA demon. All right. But you and I both know as a Christian, that was an unacceptable answer because you can't serve two masters.
Well, I don't put Trump anywhere near my master. I agree with him politically on a lot of views.
Yeah. But when I asked you the honest question, is there anything he could do to cause you to say, you know what, that's too much? You said no. That means he is your master.
No, what I'm saying is, like, obviously, if he did something crazy, obviously.
Okay, like what?
No, what I'm saying, my option when I say no, there's nothing he could do to change my backing for him is what I was trying to say is I had no other options. My other option was to vote that administration in that was running against him, which what I would have thought was a total disaster. So the answer is no.
Lee, you always have an option. You can never use that as an excuse.
Was not.
You can't imagine you go to the pearly gates and you tell the good Lord, I didn't have an option, so I chose to follow Satan. Please let me in. That's not going to work, Lee. Unfortunately, you fail to forget that, Jesus never said walking with him was going to be like a walk in the park and you wouldn't be tested. You've been tested, Lee, and this is why the previous guest was talking about things like hell. This is why on this show, I send folks like you straight to the lake of fire. It's because it's obvious to anybody out here who's been following things and paying attention that it takes a special someone to vote for a person, and you've heard it millions of times, but I don't know if it's sank in, that you know was impeached twice, found liable for essaying a woman, and 26 other women have came forward and said he did this to him as well. He cheated on all three of his wives. He's falsified business records and recently been convicted. He's been indicted on multiple fronts. He continues to lie and even endanger the lives of Americans. Right now, the most recent thing he did, taking away the Secret Service detail of one of our generals, disrespecting our troops. How does a Christian like you set aside all the stuff Jesus taught and say, I had to do it?
I know how. Can I explain it to you? Because you got this mystical belief that our government are all innocent. He's coming in there cleaning up shop, but you just think, well, what are you thinking that everything that he's getting rid of and all this stuff is what? That's holy because it's your government? It's good that he's going in there mixing it up and dropping these government.
So it's
ran
good that
off.
he's harming kids.
He's not harming. If anything, he's helping.
It's good that he's harming women.
He's not harming women. These are all made up things. I would
Lee. So
I've never seen him harm a woman.
Lee. I'm gonna tell you how he's harming kids. He's taking away food from them. What did the Bible say about harming children? It says better a millstone is tied around your neck and you cast it to the bottom of the sea than harm one of these little ones. There's a lot of kids out here that are going to be starving. He froze federal funding. That's a direct attack on the
but not.
You see what you're doing, Lee? You see what you're doing? You're making excuses. God is not pleased. God is not pleased, Lee.
He didn't freeze the food assistance.
He froze federal funding. The Medicaid website shut down. He's harming the elder, the seniors. He's harming children, and it's all in the name of protecting Lee. He's separating families with this mass deportation. Imagine a child right now in this country has to watch their mother or their father being yanked out of their house and go through this mass deportation process. Schools being shut down and terrorized because ICE is out there patrolling them. You don't see it, Lee? As a Christian, you honestly don't see it, or are you just putting your head in the sand and pretending it doesn't exist?
So for you, if a man is a rapist, right, and he's not from this country, do you want him to move next to your house or my house? Which one?
I don't want that. I don't want that. If he's a rapist, he needs to be punished. But I'll say this: when you all bring that up, I want you to understand it sounds ridiculous because I just brought up he was found liable for SAing, right?
Yeah.
Trump was found liable. 26 other women have accused him. You know who Jeffrey E. is, Epstein?
I do.
And Trump hung out with him quite a bit, right?
Oh, yeah. Now you're bringing up.
No. Honestly, he did.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
No,
I mean, you got a picture with him.
No.
But people take pictures with everybody.
No, we got audio and we got photos.
No,
I
got an idea.
So Lee,
I got an idea for all you Democrats.
Lee, could you just stick to looking at your daddy for a quick second? He hung out with Jeffrey E. Yes or no?
I don't know if he hung out if there was a picture. I guess if it's a picture and he hung out.
If Jesus was talking to you and you had to meet your maker and you had to be honest, what would you do? Would you lie to God? Don't get on.
I'd be saying, hey, God, I didn't know because it's a picture, but I'm assuming he did. Yes, because
you think that would fly in the kingdom of heaven, Lee?
If that was the case, or if it was just a picture, I'm not a judge. I'm not going to be judging.
How about this, Lee?
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
That's him and his daughter.
If Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
I'm sure that was taken out of context, whatever it was. But I think you guys should do something, though. Can I tell you what you Democrats should do?
No. What I would say is this:
you guys should.
Lee, you don't
open your homes.
No.
Open your homes to all the immigrants here.
No, Lee. You know why I can't take your word? And no disrespect, but I just don't think you're in a position of you're in a good place to actually give people positive and constructive advice in light of the fact that you've revealed yourself to not even be a person that takes your own advice. You know what I mean? It would make you honestly look like a bigger hypocrite. So and I think the lesson of this conversation is you have to at some point quit looking at the Democrats, right? And quit looking at the splinter in their eyes and get that big old 2x4 out of your eyes, all right? Because you got a big old 2x4 in your eyes, bro.
Yeah, but here's the lesson. Here's the lesson I took from you.
Okay.
You guys don't want to fix anything. So, you know what? Then screw it. Why don't we just let the whole United States fall? Let's not let anybody fix anything.
Do you believe that
President
Biden really did, and the Democrats didn't want to fix anything? We gave Donald Trump a country to actually manage. Whether you like the way it was being ran or not, we gave him a country, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Yes.
Yeah. But what we're dealing with right now, and did Biden actually do the peaceful transfer of power too, or did he basically send a bunch of Democrats to the Capitol to try to tear down the Capitol. Which one did he do? He followed the law, right? Did Biden get impeached, Lee?
No, but
He did. So Lee. So he gave you a country back. He got us out of the pandemic that the guy that you voted for got us into and failed to manage correctly, right? And he engaged in the peaceful transfer of power. And did he did all of that very humbly, if you don't mind. I don't know about you, but I'll take my chances with that person as opposed to the one that we can see out here harming women and children and lying and breaking every one of the commandments in the Bible. That has no respect. I don't know about you. All right. And this is why I say you're really not in a position, Lee. You're really not in a position to be virtue signaling, so to speak.
Yeah, but you're not in a position to be telling things too, because you're not in a position to fix the country. What you're saying is just let everything go. Is what you're saying?
No.
Then what am I working? What am I working for? Why
All right, Lee. I'm going to give you another chance.
Why am I keeping my community clean? Why am I at this point? I should quit too. Then
Okay. So Lee, what I'll do, Lee, is you sound like you're really curious. I'm gonna bring up somebody else that I think might be able to help get you on the right side. You're still here. This is when I call for backup. People say Zeus can't handle people on his own, but Zeus, I'm a kind soul. All right. I'm gonna bring up my good friend Nutty. Nutty, what do you think about all of this? And by the way, W's in the chat for Nutty. W's in the chat for Nutty. That's a funny thing.
Good morning, Zeus.
Good morning.
Lee. Good morning, Lee.
Hey,
Lee, the thing that got me is when you said that you were a Christian, and I just wanted to expound on that a little bit. So, as a Christian, can you tell me why Donald Trump? Because you also mentioned bringing up things from 40 years ago. Well, I'm going to bring up something from 2 weeks ago. Is that recent enough for you? It's not 40 years. It's 2 weeks ago.
But let me ask you: are you a Christian?
I am, absolutely, and I'm proud of it.
So if you're a Christian and you believe that, God does things for a reason, so obviously Trump was put in place for a reason. We're saying
God did not place Trump.
Oh, okay, right.
Let's just be clear about
Place
that.
Biden though, not
God. God didn't even place Biden.
Okay.
God did not place these.
Fair
people.
enough. So you can go back to what you were saying. Okay.
So why is it that Donald Trump became annoyed, agitated, irritated? What other adjectives can we find in there when Bishop Buddy simply made a request that he have mercy on people, human beings? She didn't disrespect the office of the president. She didn't even disrespect Donald Trump. She asked Mr. President, please have mercy. Extend grace on these people, children of God. Just because they're not United States, because they are American citizens. Just because they're not United States citizens doesn't absolve them from being treated with humanity. So what have you to say on him getting so annoyed by it and then triggering 22 House representatives to bring forth a condemnation for Bishop Buddy?
Okay.
Please answer that question for me.
I will answer for you. Okay. Church. Okay. Let's say it's a classroom. Let's just say it's a classroom. The teacher's there teaching a class. Okay. You get where I'm going with this.
I don't. But
let's
go
say
ahead.
one of the kids in there can't read good or has some problem in some sort of subject, and the teacher keeps pointing to that one kid, and the whole classroom's just aiming at the one kid that can't read good or do math right. Is that right to do? Is it right to do?
I'm not following you. I'm sorry. I'm lost.
He was at church, okay? And instead of them preaching world, she changed all her service towards him.
Time out. So are you saying that in her pulpit, in her space, are you saying she was wrong?
Because what I'm saying, that's not the place. That's not the place or time
Time out. It was the place.
No,
Because
a place and time is to have a
No,
meeting in the office,
no,
not during church.
no, it was the place because it was during a service and she was preaching. That's still the word of God. When
Amen.
you're preaching and
Amen.
asking for humanity,
Amen.
asking for grace,
Amen.
asking for mercy.
Amen.
Don't tell me
Amen.
there's no time and place for that. Because I don't care if she's standing in the church building or on the street corner. It is
Amen.
her job as
Amen.
a preacher to preach humanity.
Yeah, you don't tell God where to say what he needs to say. You know what I'm saying, Lee?
No, I understand.
And while we're at this moment, he has no problem sending ICE into those churches. So don't tell us it's
None
not
at
the
all.
place.
None at all. Because
That
churches
church
and
service
schools are
went
not
from
exempt.
a church service to political. That's all that was. And for other people going there to enjoy the service, they don't want to hear about that.
No,
okay?
sir. This was not an open service. This was a prayer for the incoming administration. This was specifically designed for this. Every single president has this service. So what are you talking about, my guy? This was not an open service. This was not an open service that anybody could go to.
She was using God and her platform to get her political views across during a session. That is disgusting.
My word.
Disgusting.
Are you serious right now?
Disgusting.
Are you,
yes.
But okay, so with that same logic, why do we have politicians usurping the name of God on congressional floor?
I agree as well. I agree.
Oh, so you want to walk that back now, Lee?
No, but I mean, there should be some sort of cutoffs here. You know, I don't know.
No, you cannot have it both ways, my guy. But at the end of the day, she did her job as a preacher. And the fact that you can sit there and make excuse after excuse after excuse for this preacher asking for grace and mercy for human beings, it is disgusting, and it really shows who you are as a person. And I'm gonna call it like I see it. You are no Christian.
How do you find that he's not trying to help people? Where are you getting
Nutty.
these-
W Nutty in the chat.
You're not listening. Again, this woman, she didn't sit there with a bucket of stones and she started casting them. That is not what happened.
What about the thousands and thousands
Here he
of
goes.
children?
No,
what about the thousands
Lee,
and thousands of children that
Lee,
get sex trafficked?
Lee, hold on.
You're not thinking about them?
No, Lee, hold on.
No, you don't
No,
care.
because we're talking
You
about
just want
the
to put a
bishop.
name on it.
We're
That's all.
talking about the bishop.
Lee, come on
I
now.
did not cast stones against Donald Trump. She asked for his mercy.
Lee, come on now. We're doing that thing again.
His mercy is by shutting down the borders. The sex trafficking stops.
S trafficking. We want to keep it
realize-
clean.
Listen, Zeus, let me talk to you for a
That's
second.
helping people.
Zeus, you know,
Okay.
it's no secret where I live. You know, I live in the Kansas City metro area.
Right.
So I-70 goes through the heart of Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I-70 just 10 miles away from my house.
Yeah.
From my home.
Yeah.
There is a truck stop on I-70, a pilot station.
Right.
The FBI has a substation within this truck station because I-70, this stretch of I-70 near my home,
Yeah.
is the busiest corridor for human trafficking done by American citizens.
Oh.
Just 10 miles away from my home. But
Wow.
yet you want to demonize the immigrant because you are a racist POS.
Ooh. Now, Lee, you could understand how he came to that conclusion, right?
Well, he's wrong.
Well, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Because
You're wrong.
all
Are
these
you against
crimes-
DEI?
All these crimes that you're talking about, Lee,
you're
are
speaking,
done by
you're
Americans.
Speaking, you're
are
speaking,
done by
You're
Americans.
speaking to an immigrant, first of all.
Oh.
I came here from Italy with proper paperwork. I don't want to hear it, what I had to go through to get my proper paperwork. You understand?
Because you escaped violence in Italy?
My parents did
the
same.
The meatball
And his
came after
parents,
you?
we all
The
did the
spaghetti
same.
noodles came after you, Lee?
No.
The spaghetti noodles threatened your family?
I wish the spaghetti noodles were still there, but no, they did not come
Lee, so you are an immigrant and you get into the United States and you start hating on other immigrants. Did Jesus teach you to do that?
Why didn't
Did you answer my question? Did Jesus teach you to hate?
Jesus has taught us to do the right things.
Oh,
And
that
if
wasn't
one
the
of the
answer
right
to my
things,
question, Lee. Did he teach you to hate? Did he teach you that it's acceptable to send ICE agents into churches? It's acceptable for the president to reject his words. Or are we at the point where I'm at with Nutty? Well, perhaps
I
you aren't
just
really a Christian.
I just don't understand his logic making that statement right there, because all Bishop Buddy did was ask for mercy.
That
How
part.
is
hold on,
how
hold
in
on.
the
Wait.
world
I want
how
you guys
in
to
the
listen to
world
me
is
for one
asking for
second.
mercy from the president of the United
And,
States? How is that a bad thing? Asking
Okay.
for
and
mercy.
Lee,
What is your guys's? What do you guys would do to fix the border? What would you guys do since you
So
guys?
Lee,
Lee,
I'm gonna give you a very, very candid answer.
Okay.
The border is not broken.
Okay. Okay.
And so
well,
if you think the border is broken, then why is it you won't put the blame where it deserves, Lee?
talk to him, Nutty. Here we go.
It is Congress. It is
How are you
Congress,
sitting there
Lee.
and saying the border's not broken?
Lee, we had a
Do
bipartisan
we
border bill, remember? And Donald Trump instructed MAGA Mike to not pass the bill. So if you're asking me what I would have done, I would have passed the bill. Let's not bring that up again. All right? What we won't do is what we see going on right now, going into these kids' schools and yanking them out because we think that somehow they are criminals. I won't do that. I won't stand for that. I don't go to churches and do that either, Lee. In the name of God, I'm not a hypocrite, Lee.
I just don't get it, because the very first bill that President Biden wanted to sign, he asked Congress to send him an immigration bill. That
Yeah.
was within the first day of him being in the White House, President Biden talked about a border bill.
Yeah.
And what did the Republicans do? They kept wanting to use it as a weapon for political gain.
Yeah, because
He
we all
just
know.
told you about the border bill that was written
Yep.
by Senator Jim Langford, the most conservative Republican in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
they said no because Donald Trump wanted to use it to run on, and you all fell for the okie doke because he wanted to make you fearful that the brown people were coming. The brown people were coming. The brown people were coming, and they're taking your women.
That part.
And then they're taking your.
He
not
started
only are they
laughing
taking
when
your
you
women,
said
they're
that.
taking your job.
He started laughing when you said that, Nutty, about taking the women. So that's what it was. Got it. Got it. He knew it. So Lee, let me ask you a serious question. What do you think immigrants are doing in this country right now? That's so terrible because from what I understand, you do know that they help feed us in America, right?
Oh yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
think,
So
they're
how do
great
you?
people?
Huh?
I think they're amazing people, hardworking people. I actually speak Spanish. But what I'm saying, it's become a little unfair. That's
wait.
all.
Okay, wait a second. So what kind of work are you involved with?
Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What kind of work do you do?
So I build. I'm a builder.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. W Zeus in the chat. So you're in construction.
Because I'm Italian, you know.
No. So you're in construction.
Yes.
Well, you said you speak Spanish. I'm going. Why would you need to be speaking Spanish?
Well, I speak Italian.
Yeah. So what part do you are you just like a regular employee or do you run a business? Which one is it?
I run the business.
Oh man, Lee, stop it.
I do. I do.
You know where I'm going then, right?
Yeah, and this is where I have a good point of view about
Okay, then just go ahead and confess it. What's the point of view?
Okay, so the point of view, I mean, I hate to say this because it's against all what I'm saying, but I mean, as a business person, I love saving money, but most of the times I hire the immigrant crews because they have cheaper.
W Zeus in the chat.
So here's the deal. With that being said, Zeus, with that being said,
I can't.
Lee, you're the criminal. You're the criminal because it's not the people that's doing the job; it's the businesses that hire them. Those are the criminals.
No, because
those are the ones breaking
Let
the
me
law.
explain to you how business works.
No, Lee.
Well, I'll
If
hire the guy.
If you
I
hire
hire-
undocumented, if
I
you
hire
hire
the
anyone
company.
that's undocumented, you're
I
breaking the law.
hire the company that is fully paying, tax paying, EIN number, the whole thing. I don't manage who he hires.
Okay,
But you know,
there's documents on this crew. You're breaking the law.
Okay, so who do I call?
Ignorance
I don't
of the
even know
law
who
is
to
no
call.
excuse for breaking the law.
What he does, that's his responsibility. That's his business.
No,
Got
it's
nothing to do
not.
with it.
It's your business because it can bring your business down.
No,
And Lee, think about all the criminals that you've been letting in the country with this backdoor operation.
If someone brought shrugs into my home, and I had even an inkling about it, even though I didn't bring it in, I'm still responsible because it's my home.
So
It's your
now
business.
immigrants are shrugs. Now is what you're saying?
No, I was making the correlation there.
Yeah.
That you said that it's not your responsibility, and it is your responsibility if you run the business.
Can I? And now, Lee, I got a serious question though. Why not hire a bunch of Trump supporters wearing red hats to replace them? I mean, what's the deal?
I do
What?
now. I'm talking about, this was like a long time ago. Once I caught wind of it, obviously it was no good, and I got a lot of heat for it too, so I had to stop. So
So you hire MAGA?
No, I hired back employees of mine that were
No. I'm asking, why not hire some of these lazy Trump supporters that are sitting on their couch watching Fox News wearing these red hats? Yeah, why not give them a chance in your business? How much are you paying? How much do you pay an hour?
The Trump supporters are a lot of Trump supporters work on what I do. So
Oh, they're the owners. They're the ones cracking the whip.
no,
Huh.
they're hardworking people, man.
So how much do you pay per hour to these fag? Because there's some Trump supporters that are going to be reaching out to you looking for a job now because they now know what you do. How much are you paying per hour?
I have a single employee in my business. I sub out all the work.
Oh, the sub content 1099.
1099. You know.
W Zeus in the chat. All right, Lee. It's the same story. It's the
Yeah, but how do you justify that though? How do you justify?
Hey, listen, that's between you and God. All right, Lee. Listen, I gotta move this show on. All right, Lee. But what I'll do is, you're more than welcome to come on back and keep learning. All right, from those of us who are actually following what's going on. But I gotta make a decision right now, and as far as we're concerned, you gotta go to the lake of fire, bro. You're a prime candidate for hell. All right.
Well, hey, I had a great conversation with you guys.
All right.
You guys, wish you guys well and good luck.
All right, you come on back here, but in the meantime and in between time, ladies and gentlemen, yes, tell them Nutty. We're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lee, who we just did what we call some DEI training mixed with a little bit of an audit, and we found corruption like you wouldn't believe. So Lee, you sound like a great person, but with that MAGA demon, all that anti-DEI stuff you're doing and all that corruption, not so good. Get rid of it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Unbelievable. Nutty, any last words?
So Zeus, very quickly. Yes, very quickly. I see America, the United States of America, more specifically. So you know the Karen that goes into a fast food restaurant because they got her order wrong, and that there's nothing that the fast food worker can do to make it right. She just wants to growl and complain, and that's the way I see America right now.
Right.
I see America as this ultimate Karen and Ken that absolutely regrets the way they voted, because we're only 2 weeks into this administration.
Oh my God.
Let that sink in. We're only 2 weeks into this administration, and doesn't it already feel like it's been over a year?
It's like it's a relationship. You start dating this person, and 2 days into it, it's like we've been dating for decades. It feels like, right? It's one of those moments, right?
I cannot understand
so much
people who
drama.
say they love their country, but yet there's nothing Donald Trump could do that could make them stop supporting him. That's not loving your country. Loving your country is not loving the person sitting behind the desk.
That part.
It's loving that document called the Constitution.
Amen.
So with that being said, Lee, I'm going to disagree with you, Q, because Q said we don't hate you. We just don't like the way you do things. Yeah, I don't trip. God ain't through with me yet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it at that.
All
Don't
right.
trip. He ain't through with me yet.
Amen.
So all you prayer warriors that can actually get a prayer up there, y'all need to pray for me because I'm beyond done with these MAGA demons.
W Nutty in the chat, and we got Dark Nutty today. All right, we got Dark Nutty today, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. No lies detected. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me bring up my brother Lex. Welcome, Lex. How are you doing? Oh, staying fresh in the latest threads once again. Nice to see you, champ. How are you doing?
I'm good. You know something, man.
Talk to him.
Last week, on Tuesday, when he signed those executive orders, I work in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my friends there calls me. He has a daughter that was a track star at a PWI college up here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
She was on scholarship. He calls me on Wednesday, the day after Trump starts signing the executive orders, and they kicked her out of school, removed her scholarship, and wanted her off campus by Friday.
Wow.
Okay.
Harming children, harming the kids.
Her mother had recently passed away from cancer. So she just had her dad, who was 1,200 miles away.
Wow.
So me and a friend of mine, he's an actor, Phil Kozart, in 48 hours, I ensured that she moved out of her dorm, had put her stuff in storage, got her a flight back to the Bahamas.
Amen.
Got her admission waived at the college where I have one of my doctorates.
Amen.
Got her put on a scholarship program, and she's at home now with her dad.
Amen. Wow. Wow.
Wait, and she had.
Tell him, Lex.
She had segregated herself away from going out, away from campus because they were calling her N-words, and she's a little 5'4", dark-skinned Bahamian girl, right?
Yeah.
And it was the hardest 48 hours that I've endured in a long time because of the disparity. She was defeated whenever I first talked to her.
Ain't that something?
And they felt like that they couldn't do anything about it. They had no one to reach out to until he called me. She was stuck.
Wow.
And see that that's how God works, because I recently became close friends with him when I was working. I was in the Bahamas for a month. I'm going back next month or sometime.
Amen. 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 God is good. Tell him, Lex.
Had we not have crossed paths, it makes me wonder how many kids like that are out there.
Yeah, a lot.
That they're just doing this to free will. And why is it that you guys, if this was a Christian school, why is it that these Christians are hurting people? Why do you advocate? Why are you an advocate for that? I mean, help me understand this.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of that, but they rather sit back and point out Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's flaws, as opposed to actually confronting the truth about their faith. You know what I mean? That's the issue, right? I asked that previous guest. I said, "What would you do? What could Donald Trump do to cause you to lose support?" And he said nothing.
Yeah, I heard that. He made every single excuse possible known to man, even though literally you told him, he was like, what about all of these S traffickers taking all these? And I'm like, you just told him that he's been convicted and found liable for that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're isolating ourselves. I mean, if you've read the 14 Tenets of Fascism, it shows plainly what they're doing.
Yep.
And see, the thing is if you go look at the parallels of everything that's going on right now, we're isolating ourselves from our allies.
Yep.
I mean, we're into it with France, Denmark. I mean, everybody. And I don't understand what that is. Now, see, the thing is what happens to fascists generally is they wind up burning up outside of a bunker or hanging by their genitals from a gas station.
Oh.
That gentleman that was on here, he said he was from Italy.
Yeah, he did.
That would be the gas station. That's that Roman salute.
You got to watch, because that's what you're doing. It's very clever what you're doing. All right, it's too much for them to handle. All right, and we know what happened. Never mind. I'm going to leave that
Yeah,
alone
well, I mean, the thing is, you know, you go watch old film of the civilians with wheelbarrows full of bricks in their destroyed city called Berlin.
yeah,
And then, you know, like that Roman salute that they're giving Elon Musk the excuse of doing. You do know that the mustache man went to Italy and met with Moosehead.
Yep.
And Moosehead was doing the Roman salute, and the mustache man co-opted it. So that covers your analogy there, trying to figure out how to make excuses for what these people are doing. And you don't hurt people. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Now, I used to come on here and play music and
Yeah, you did,
have
and
fun.
a lot of great tunes, by the way.
And now it's gotten to where that we are basically under attack. And see, the thing is they think that they're doing it to just us, and there's a boys club that you're not a part of.
Nope.
So
They
you're
think-
considered excrement. Refuse the trash outside.
They think Donald Trump is going to invite them to Mar-a-Lago if they just pledge their loyalty hard enough, and they just say it loud enough. They think they're going to get that invitation, and some of them actually think the guys. They think that Ivanka is actually going to go on a date with them. These people they're deranged.
Oh, you see where Ivanka? She's not been around, has she?
I haven't heard from her.
Did you see that interview she did where she said she saw a lot of people that were in very, very bad places and it affected her?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And she's starting to have her own personal encounter with the good Lord, and she's recognizing how important it is to take care of herself right now. Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes people have to be shown the lake of fire before they realize that they're wrong.
And they say that I'm wrong, but what we're doing is actually it's quite helpful now that you say it like that. It's the pre-Lake of Fire, if anything, right? This is probably one of the few places you're going to get the open and honest truth and DEI training, right? Because, you would have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to talk to Lex like this in a normal place, right?
Yeah.
They would have to spend thousands of dollars to actually get your unadulterated truth. So they really should be very appreciative of what we're doing out here. Seriously.
Well, the thing is the thing, just like with the deportations, we told you. There's people on here that are, that guy that was on here earlier, did he ask his grandparents if they immigrated over here from Italy in the early 20th century?
That's a good point. Hey, Lee, are you in the chat real quick? Did you ever ask them that question, all right, before you found Jesus or something like that? Because we would like to know, seriously.
Lee, because your grandparents or whoever, if they migrated to the United States in the 20s, 30s, they were treated just like the people coming across the border.
That
they
part.
had flyers and things calling the monkeys, all that good stuff. We're talking about the Italians, and they did the same thing to Irish. But don't co-op or take on the Irish.
Lee said he immigrated. Okay, well, I heard something about his grandparents too, so maybe we got to get to
Yeah,
the.
but Italians, when they were migrating from Italy over here, they were treated poorly when they got here. They were treated just like everyone else, except for the fact that just like the Irish, whenever somebody talks about Irish being slaves, they were indentured servants. They were treated poorly, yes, but they weren't sold like cattle.
Amen.
And their hair wasn't used for pillows, and their teeth weren't used for dentures, and their skin wasn't used for lamps.
That part. Tell them, Lex. Well, listen,
So,
I gotta get up out of here, brother. All right.
Well, yeah, that's what I came up here because I appreciate you, Zeus, for putting in the hard work, but there's a lot of work to be done. I'm putting out fires daily now, so it is.
You're
what it
doing
is.
God's work though,
You did
and
what you did.
no.
As I said before, you're gonna need some salve for the fire that you're gonna catch. Started it. Some of that salve.
Tell them, ladies and gentlemen, W Lex in the chat.
All right,
Always showing up in the fresh and the latest. All right, seriously, bringing the knowledge and the truth. All right, and bringing it. You guys really should be paying for this information, but you know what? We're gonna keep doing what we're doing. All right. Thank you, Lex. Peace. Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that concludes this.
Are you gonna kick me off or not?
Oh, I got you. Don't worry. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this special broadcast. Zeus has to get up out of here because guess what? I got other affairs to tend to. All right, but Make no mistake, we are still heading towards a 1929 style depression, one like you and I have never seen before. It's actually going to be a lot worse because this one's going to be self-inflicted. I also want to give you all a friendly reminder. Make sure you go and look up. Make sure you go look up Miss Caroline. All right, Levette. All right, you can go look up her background and just check her out. All right, and ask yourself, does this look like somebody that we should be trusting to give us information about what the Trump administration is currently doing? I looked into her. She seems like a very nice person, perhaps, but when she's possessed with the MAGA demon, I do have my concerns. All right. So you all deserve a round of applause. Thank you for tuning in. All right. You could be anywhere, but you chose to hang out with me, Big Zeus. All right. This is one of the most, I would say, entertaining, educational, and engaging platforms on TikTok, right? And you all deserve a round of applause. W. Rick in the chat. But you know what else I gotta say? We also got to give one last Lake of Fire boo and shame routine to all of the Zeus haters out there. And these are not just my haters; these are actually your haters too. These people lie religiously. Lying is clearly their religion. All right, evil and wickedness, adultery, fornication, lust, all of that. This is their work, wicked work. And they get on this app and they say things they know they shouldn't say, but they say it because guess what? They think Donald Trump can actually save them and get them into the pearly gates. They promote misinformation and disinformation. All right, all on behalf of their cult leader. All right, and then they get out here and try to present themselves as God-fearing Christians, right? We don't believe them, all right, but they are definitely haters, all right, and they're the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's give them one last round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe. We're out of here. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Nice show on TikTok. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing show. Rick, you like that? Gotta be able to connect those dots. Hey, 382 Jim, get a job. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, you guys make this show what it is. I really couldn't do it without all of you. We got a bunch of people running the country and lying to the American people, right? Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we came to do. It is what it is. Oh my goodness. Tell them. Hey, let's go. No lies detected, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what we're doing. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you. I got out on time today. Let's go. Love you too. Hey. I love the song. It's a good song, got a lot of energy. Right, Dolphins? I'll keep doing what I do. Take care. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is. Let's go, let's go! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. All right. Now we're gonna do some drill, baby, drill, and we're gonna get out of here.
And drill, baby, drill.
That's right, Curtis.
Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna be drilling.
It's the clapping show.
We're
Okay.
gonna be for these guys. We're gonna drill.
You guys are in so much trouble.
Money. We're gonna pay down.
Let's go,
our
ladies and
debt.
gentlemen.
We're gonna lower your taxes to insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack. Drill. There's a frack.
Let's go. You know she's gonna make it. Right, let's go. Once again, cracking
against all the stuff and then all the stuff and then all the stuff and then all the time everybody here to Africa. When she was getting killed in the past,
She said, I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. You know that's true, right? She can't help it. She's a radical. Left, hey. And we're gonna end that. And we will frack, and drill, baby, drill. Let's go. So deep.
We're gonna be for these guys. We're gonna
drill. Y'all gotta be able to drill, baby, drill. Hey, we're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylum. You know they go crazy when I say drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack.
Drill, baby, drill like it's
Y'all want me to lower your taxes? Fair enough, we can do that. Like it's Hannibal Lecter.
Insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Okay, they say we're gonna pay down.
What are we gonna pay down?
We're gonna lower your taxes.
That part.
Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, baby, drill, gonna frack, drill, baby, drill like it's
Hannibal Lecter. Hey, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Deep insane asylum. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Am I right, Sneaky Fingers? Hey. Let's go. Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. All right, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. All right.